Guys, before we begin this podcast, I want to remind you once again that we are brought to you by Manscaped. Manscaped, thank you so much for keeping our trims pubed, for looking after our hogs, for making sure that our dongs are looking fresh and clean. Because you want to have a fresh looking dong before you step out into the world. So use code GODEEP20 at manscaped.com to get 20% off your order. We are also brought to you by the legends at 5CBD. What up, dudes? It's time for you guys to hear about our new favorite way to chill, and it's 5CBD. 5CBD is all about quality, good vibes. This is CBD, not just CBD. It has high levels of THC, so you're going to get a little bit of buzz with your CBD, but it's all legal. It's legit. It's potent. It's cheap. You can get it online. What up? Try 5thc.com today and grab your free bottle of Daily Buzz gummies. Offer lasts until December 31st, so go ahead and treat yourself. You don't want to miss it.
What's with deep? Going deep. Chad and JT.
Ooh, yeah. Tickle my tummy and call me Larry. What's up, Stokers of Stoke Nation? This is Chad Kroger coming in with the Going Deep with Chad and JT podcast. And I'm here with my compadre, Jean Thomas. What up?
Boom clap, Stokers.
And yeah, what's good?
Chilling, dude. Did a pod today. I'm looking at some potential places to move to.
Yeah.
Was focusing on the Santa Monica area today.
And how'd you feel about it? Like what? Because you said you got like a hair up your ass about hitting Santa Monica. What inspired that? The Osh?
The Osh, being close to the ocean. I want to do Venice more than Santa Monica because it feels like it's got a little more of like it's a little more of a vibrant culture there.
And it's more neighborhoody.
It's more neighborhoody, but the places for the same price in Santa Monica are a little bit. Venice seems a little more expensive.
Yeah.
And a lot more like Santa Monica is like newer.
Yeah.
So a lot of the places like are kind of designed better, whereas in Venice it's like everything's so funky.
Yeah.
It's hard to find like a straightforward place that has what I'm kind of looking for.
Yeah. What's interesting about Venice is that like, it'll be like the nicest house, you've seen for, a multi-million-dollar house, right next to like a group of dumpsters. And that's Venice. It's like really nice stuff next to dumpsters.
That's part of the appeal, right?
Yeah.
Is that it's got a little more like grit to it, but it's
Yeah.
still like beautiful.
Yeah, that's so California. It's like pay top dollar to live in trash.
Mm-hmm. And so Santa Monica's a little more. What? Hey, you're in the market. You know these things. Yeah, you've been searching.
So I didn't mean to bag on Venice.
Oh, you came in hot on it.
Oh, sorry.
No, but I'm not the mayor.
No, I didn't mean to bring you down. I just think it's hilarious. Like,
No, not
I
bringing
love
me down.
Venice.
Yeah.
And I love, Will Arnett did a Netflix show about living in Venice, being like a sober guy in it. And everyone I talk to loves Venice, but it is funny.
The show Kingdom that I just finished is
Venice.
Is
yeah.
in Venice.
Everyone loves Venice. Our buddy Nick's in Venice.
The Chernins are in Venice.
Yeah.
A lot of people we like are in Venice.
I like where the Chernins are, where it's a little bit. I love the idea of being close to the beach, but they're like three-quarters of a mile away from it, I'd say, and super nice places over there.
That is cool.
Yeah.
It is interesting though. Every place has its shortcomings in Los Angeles. Like I don't think there's like a perfect neighborhood. Oh, yours is really, really cool. You just moved. You're in a brand new spot.
I like it there a lot. It feels like you're kind of in like the neighborhood. It sort of feels like you're in like a Highland Park kind of neighborhood a little bit, but you're close to the beach.
That's a good balance.
Which is cool. But I love it right now because there's like a backyard and stuff. But like, I'm always itching of like getting closer to the beach and stuff. I don't know if I could live in a place for, more than 5 years. I'm not sure if I have that in me to just stay.
I feel you.
I feel like I just got to keep moving.
I like that.
I don't know. What do you think? Do you think you could find a place and just be like, this is it?
No, not yet either.
Yeah.
I think you're right. I'm still searching for the right place.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be bound to any neighborhood yet.
Yeah.
I want to stay mobile.
Yeah, always on the go.
Feels cooler that way. But I do want to get a doggy.
Yeah, what kind of dog are you thinking?
Thinking schnoodle.
Schnoodle?
Yeah.
What's that?
My girlfriend told me about him. Her sister has one. They're half Schnauzer, half poodle. But I want a miniature one. But I want a big miniature one. I want a big mini schnoodle, 20 pounds, hypoallergenic. And
Like
here's
this?
the thing. Yeah, about that big. I want to.
That's nice.
And they're affectionate.
Yeah.
I looked
oh,
that
that's
up.
the best.
Here's the thing, though. I want to go breeder.
Yeah.
And I talked about it on the live yesterday. Everybody was like, "Don't go breeder."
Dude, people get really heated about that.
And here's the thing. I'm susceptible to being shamed.
Yeah.
So if you're listening, send me messages telling me not to go breeder. Because if I have my druthers and no one's watching me, I'll do breeder all day.
Yeah.
But if people get on me and they're like, "You piece of shit, you need to get a rescue," I'll fold and I'll get a rescue.
I'm the exact same way. Like my mom was like, she's like, hey, we're looking at these mini Goldens and, we're on the waiting list and, we might have an extra dog if you want. And I was like, ooh, yeah. And my girlfriend is so pro rescue that like, she's like, you can't get a breeder. You just can't, you can't do it. I'm very passionate about this. I'm like, but have you seen these like little mini golden retrievers?
I know, right?
Like, but I love, rescues are great. Though,
They're
dude.
great.
I love pit bulls. I'm gonna say it. Although, it's a tough call, but I mean,
Is that controversial to say you love pit bulls?
I guess not. I think people are just scared of pit bulls.
Right.
But
But that's why it's powerful to love them.
yeah. I like Caroline's dog it's got some pit bull in her. I mean, the jaws on that thing are just like incredible.
You can see the power.
I mean, that's the thing about pit bulls is you look at their jaw muscle and you're like, dude, like that looks like the size of my glute.
It's like when people are attracted to like violent people, you're like, oh, this violent creature is gonna love me. And
Yeah.
I think it makes you feel more special that they treat you with tenderness when they have this capacity for violence.
And they really do love you.
They
Pit bull.
do.
Oh, if they love you, they love you. But they're very sweet dogs, but they've got this like dark underbelly, and I think it's kind of a, they have a bad rap because if they have abusive owners, that brings out their sort of involuntary, sort of primal side that'll rip your throat out.
Their survival instincts.
Yeah.
Well, that's like we read an article. It's a natural segue about a guy who did a psychopath test. Like he looked at brain scans of psychopaths.
Yeah.
And then he looked at his own brain and he was a psychopath.
Yeah.
But he thinks because he was nurtured in a loving household that it kind of sublimated those instincts and he turned out to be like the best version of a psychopath where he's just competitive and wants to win arguments, but he doesn't murder or assault people.
Oh, that's so interesting. Yeah. I got to read deeper into that article.
He's a pit bull.
Yeah.
But it made me feel good because sometimes I think I'm a psycho or
Yeah.
that I've been bred from psychos.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, well, you can still be ethical. Some people do it out of like performance because they want everyone around them to think they're a good person.
Yeah.
And that overpowers their psychoness.
Yeah.
So whatever it takes.
Yeah. I think everyone's got, a lot of people have a degree of psycho in them. I'd say I'm psychotic about my own body,
Your tan.
my tan.
I'm pretty psycho about my tan.
Yeah. About submerging myself in frigid waters. And about conditioning my hair.
I'm psycho about expressing my emotions,
Yeah.
even if there's not a reason for them to be in high gear.
Mm-hmm.
I'll find a reason why I need to be. The same way that Michael Jordan will find a reason to have to beat you at basketball that you disrespected him,
Mm-hmm.
I'll find a reason why you just made me emotional.
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
find it.
You'll find it.
I'm Michael Jordan of emotions.
Dude, the only time I ever got mad at my mom was when she used to give me haircuts, and I thought it was, this time around I thought it was kind of a lackluster haircut, and I got in the shower and I slammed the door.
Haircuts. You slam the door?
Well, she wasn't there. She was outside, but I was like, I'm gonna go take a shower. I went in the shower and I slammed the door, and I felt really bad about it.
I'm turned on. That sounds like it felt good, right?
Yeah, because I was pissed off. I had a dong cut.
I think your mom would have liked hearing you slam the door. Like she's like, oh wow.
She didn't like it.
She didn't?
No.
I see. I like it. That's the psycho in me.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, Chad has a gear he can go to of
Oh, I'll go there.
overwhelming anger.
Oh, I'll go there. If it's the right thing, you can get Daddy going a little bit.
It scares me a little bit. I hope it's not aimed at me.
Oh,
Dude, one of the fights my brother and I got into, I gave him a haircut before New Year's,
Uh-huh.
and I kept being like, "That's a great haircut I give you." He's like, "Yeah, it's pretty good." I'm like, don't you say thank you for that haircut? He's like, I already said thank you. I'm like, why don't you say thank you again for that haircut I gave you? He goes, I'm not saying thank you again. I'm like, say thank you again, bitch.
Yeah.
And then he's like, fuck you, man. And then I was like, you want to fucking go?
Yeah.
And then we just fist fought.
Oh, you went?
Yeah, I just kept talking shit to him. I was needling him. And then I had a pretty cool line. He's like, oh yeah, you're real tough. I was like, stand up and I'll show you how tough I am.
Oh, nice.
And then he came over and just walloped me.
How old were you guys?
18 and 16.
That's awesome.
He punched me, and then I came back. He punched me, and then he just stood there and let me punch him. And then we started wrestling, and I put him on his, I had him in a headlock, and he, lunatic, take a psychopath test, Chris. I'm just kidding. He's the best guy I know. He just had to survive. He threw his thumb into my eye, and then I threw him down, and I went to kick him, which I would never normally do, but we were really fired up. And thank God Danny Babona was watching the whole thing, and he broke us up. And then I went to the gym. No, first I go, fuck. I go, I'm so sorry, Chris. He goes, I'm sorry too. Then I went to the gym and I tried to work out, but I had the worst headache of my life. And I just sat there and iced my face for 45 minutes.
Yeah.
But haircuts, they bring something out of us. It's one of the most intense experiences I go through routinely.
Yeah.
Like every time I get a haircut, when you just start to see it, when they go too short, when you're like, hey, keep it a little long. And then they're like, okay, I'm just going to even it out. That's always the phrase they use. I'm just evening it out. I'm like, no, you're fucking not. All right, you're taking length off. I'm looking at the hair falling off my head.
Yeah.
And you just sit there and you feel so powerless. And then you just have to sit there for 30 minutes when this person just ruins your life.
Dude,
at least for a month.
Straight up ruins it. And, you know, you have, like, I'll have specific directions. I'm like, this is what I want. But then, you know, a lot of times, this is why you got to find the right person, because they'll have it in their mind. They're like, oh, I'm going to cut it. I know this guy thinks he wants it this way, but I'm going to cut it the way that he should have it cut. And then they give you some fucking Bieber haircut, you know, circa 2010, which is you're looking at yourself in the chair and you're like, and you just want to, you know, it's like some of the only times where I'm just like, I want to beat the fuck out of you right now.
Of course. That's the feeling. You just want to get out of there.
Yeah.
Just you either kill him or get out, but I can't look at you.
Yeah.
Or there was a couple years there where everyone was doing like the Cristiano Ronaldo haircut, like kind of like shaved on the sides and long on top.
Brutal.
And they would always try to do that to you. And I'm like, do I look like I could pull that off? Do I seem like I have the face or head shape for that?
No.
I clearly don't.
Yeah.
So just take it off a little bit, leave it rounded at the corners.
Yeah.
I mean, I've given you the blueprint. Don't deviate because you think you're some kind of auteur.
Yeah. Well, only like 1% of dudes can pull it off. And I don't even want to be that type of dude.
That's not me.
And so it's like, I don't even want to look like I'm the kind of guy trying to be like that kind of dude.
I don't want people to see me and put me in that box.
Yeah. Oh, it makes me so mad.
Speaking of haircuts, Jake Paul.
Oh, yeah, let's get into this. Dude, so Stokers, if you haven't seen it, which I'm sure you have, Jake Paul is trying to fight Conor McGregor, and now he's resorted to talking tons of shit to him. He put up a video on Monday this week. I'm not sure when this podcast is coming out, but on the 14th of December. Just, it was pretty, you know, it was a pretty lewd rant.
It was over the line.
He crossed the line.
He crossed the line.
Very uncalled for.
And, you know, people can say it's all to drum up the fight. Well, guess what? It made me sad.
Yeah.
When he insulted his wife, it made me sad. It just it gave me this harsh feeling in my stomach where I was like, the world's a mean place.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
When I watch Jake Paul, you know, when you look at Logan, like we talked about this on the Noel pod, like you can feel there's some self-awareness there. You can feel there's some semblance of sensitivity there. Like with Jake Paul, you have none of that.
There's no humanity.
You have like the worst of humanity just bundled up into like one giant ball of douche. There's nothing redeemable about him.
And then people are like, well, so don't you want to see Conor? All right, I don't know if anyone's going to say, but then that makes you think, okay, so I want to see Conor McGregor kick his ass.
Yeah.
I don't even want to see that.
Yeah.
I want to see Jake Paul unable to get another fight because no one will deign to fight him.
Right. Yeah. I almost don't want to see Conor McGregor give into it because it's like
it validates him.
Yeah. And these are the tactics he's going to keep using to try and get fights. Although my girlfriend brought up the image of him with like a broken nose and all his teeth gone after fighting him. and I couldn't stop laughing. So
That would be pretty great.
it would be pretty, just like, oh fuck, dude, I got really fucked up, man.
Maybe it's all worth it.
Yeah.
And Conor McGregor talks a lot of shit, but I don't think he ever trashed someone else's wife. He would bring their wives into it, but it was more about like how the wife felt bad for the husband for being like a shitty fighter or something like that.
Yeah.
Which I thought was good shit talking.
Yeah.
And then I think the furthest Conor ever went was when he told Khabib that his dad was like friends with like Chechnyan terrorists.
Yeah.
That was over the line as well. But I almost think this one's worse.
Yeah.
I think disrespecting someone's wife, it's just really, really mean.
Well, I watched that video, and I'm like, oh, you're 23, you know? You just watch that, and you're like, oh, this is what a 23-year-old wannabe boxer would say. You know what I mean?
Totally.
And he's 23, right?
I think so.
He's like that young.
That sounds right. I'm not sure.
And it's so gross.
It is really gross. I wonder what his parents think about him.
Oh shit! I didn't even think.
Who
about
are the
that.
Paul parents?
Yeah, I'd like to know. That would be interesting.
I'd be curious to like study them and be like, how did this all come out of your household?
Do you think his dad was like, he's like, dude, nice. He called his wife a 4. Nice work, dude.
You burned him. From one celeb that we're not crazy about to another celeb that we love, but who seems like he's about to go through a little bit of a tough spot, a tough moment. Tom Cruise, a recording came out of him yelling at the crew on Mission Impossible 7. And did you listen to it?
Oh yeah.
What I loved the most about it was when he was like, every night I go home and I'm talking to producers, studios, insurance companies about the state of our fucking industry. And that's what's on my mind every night, saving this fucking industry.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, like the station that he thinks he's at, where like he's the leader of all of Hollywood, is so megalomaniacal. But then I was like, what if it's true? Like, what if all those studios are like, Tom's going to get us through this. And all these insurance companies are like, we can't give the go-ahead on this $200 million film.
Yeah.
And Tom Cruise is like, on my honor, we'll get through this. And there won't be any problems with COVID. And they're like, all right, Tom, if you say so.
Yeah.
And so maybe it's like real. Maybe heavy is the head that wears the crown. Maybe he really is responsible for the entire industry.
Dude, it fired me up. I'm like, yeah, Tom, save it. Like, I just picture Tom just like running through a burning building with the industry on his back. Carolyn had a hot take. She thinks he leaked it himself. Because it's the most Tom Cruise thing. He wants everyone to think that he's carrying this industry on his back. He wants people to think that.
Yeah, because I was wondering how to get out. Because with stuff like that, like if you're this sound guy, you got to imagine it's probably one of the sound guys, right?
Yeah.
Like, and you leak that, you're going to lose your job.
Yeah.
Like, the whole sound department's getting interrogated right now.
During the production? Like, when was the Terminator thing with Christian Bale?
It came out way after the movie.
Yeah. So this comes during the production, after he just like fucking laid into them, and someone's like, I'm gonna send this to TMZ, because it was sort of like, you're like, holy fuck, man, like this is crazy, but he does paint himself in like a pretty good light in his mind,
for sure. But so does she think that he like that it was a real reaction to something, and then he realized it was recorded, and he's like, you know what? Put that recording out. I want everyone to hear that. Or does she think the whole thing was orchestrated?
No. We didn't get into those specifics, but in my mind, if we're going on this, I'd say it happened, and then later, maybe he leaked it.
That makes sense.
Because I mean, I don't know. It's not because what's interesting about it is he's basically saying like if you guys don't follow the rules, no one here has jobs for a while. The rest of these sets aren't going to run. People can't feed their families. People are going to lose their homes. Like the weight of the industry is on our shoulders. That's why we need to follow the rules. It's not as opposed to like,
my salmon was fucked up.
Yeah. Complaining about something about himself. He's basically saying like, dude, he's like saying like, we got to save the industry. Like, that's why you need to follow the fucking rules.
He's being responsible.
Yeah.
He's right.
Yeah. And he probably went about it the wrong way. But it's like, it's not like someone, it's not like he got, the wrong hairspray.
And everyone says about that Terminator one that DP that Christian Bale was yelling at was really annoying.
Yeah.
They're like, he was always meddling with stuff during shots.
Yeah.
And like, it seems like really egregious to freak out if you're an actor.
Yeah.
But like, now that I know more actors, like it's really hard for people to act when people are like moving around like near the cameras and shit like that.
Yeah.
It's distracting. You're like fake crying about like how your uncle, like lost a leg.
Yeah.
And then someone's like knocking shit over, like chewing pretzels loud. Yeah. And I get it. It's just acting. But what's interesting, so what I'm saying is, I lost my point, but what I was saying is that like, maybe this guy that Tom Cruise yelled at, like, was he doing it a lot? Like, was he playing that hand slap game where you put your hands on another guy's hands and then you try to slap him?
Yeah.
You know that one?
Yeah.
Was he doing that on set?
Yeah.
And then Tom was like, I told you to stop playing patty cake. You're going to get us all killed.
Yeah.
You're going to end the movie industry. But it just had some of Tom's patented megalomania in there.
Yeah. And I, what was I going to say? Like I'm sure a ton of people who are itching to get back to work have that frustration in them where they're like, it's like, okay, they're back to work. Like, finally, we're back to work, especially for someone like Tom who just thrives off working. Like, he just needs to keep progressing and stuff. And then when something like Corona gets in the way and you're like, what do I do? I'll make a movie in space. You know what I mean? So it's like he probably has so much built up energy inside where when he saw someone potentially get in the way of fucking that up, he exploded.
It's a good point.
Yeah.
Like, he's scared.
Yeah.
He needed 2 lines like that, like, do you know how desperately I want to be here?
Yeah.
I do not want to go home, okay? I have to be on set.
Yeah.
And you are going to take that away from me.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah. That's like the Pipe Masters were put on hold for I don't even know how long because the CEO of the WSL got COVID. And it's like, for all the surfers who travel to Hawaii from Australia and stuff, which is really hard to do.
Oh, they were already there when it got canceled?
They already had like a day of competition. And then the CEO of the WSL got COVID. And now they have to like just stop the whole event. And it's just like, for me, the frustration would be so high of just like how the fuck could you can't you just like keep it together for like this set amount of time? Like, what the fuck is going on?
Totally.
I don't know.
No, you're right. Well, this brings us to a larger point. Ellen got COVID.
Yeah.
And it was funny early in COVID, like when Von Miller got it, and he was like, I haven't left my house. I went and got like fish tacos outside from a food truck once, wearing a mask, and I got it. Yeah. So guys, be careful because you can get it any which way. And now we know he's lying. Yeah. Like, you for sure got it fucking around with your friends. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then Ellen got it. I'm like, well, how does anyone get that close to Ellen? She's doing the show, but they must be testing those PAs like 9 times a week. Yeah. You got to probably get 3 rapid tests just to get within 6 feet of her. Yeah. And so I don't know how these like super rich celebrities keep getting it. They must be partying. Yeah. And I think they're getting it from, I'm not saying this about Ellen. We were on her show. It was a great experience. Can't wait to go back. But she's happily married to Portia de Rossi. But I think all these other celebrities who are getting it, orgies. Oh, yeah. Every celebrity who's getting COVID is getting it from going to an orgy. Yeah. Totally agree. They're just smooching each other. That's what's got to be going on. And people can't stop smooching. Like, who else has it? Ellen got it. Idris Elba got it, but he got it early, so he probably got it normal. And he's horny. Oh, The Rock got it. When did he get it? The Rock got it like 2 or 3 months ago. Like, I for sure think The Rock got it from fucking. Yeah. He said they had some friends in town who didn't know they had it. I'm like, Rock, I think you just had one too many people at the orgy and not everybody was accounted for. Totally on board with that. Which is cool. Just admit it. No one's going to judge you. Yeah. Everyone would really respect you if you came clean about it. That'd be awesome. Look, guys, I know it's Corona times, but due to all the stress, I had to get my energy out, so I had an orgy. Mm-hmm. We'd all rally behind that person. Oh, yeah. I'd get in there. I'd ask to be in it. Yeah, I'd be like, what's up with the next one, Rocky? Yeah. Would you be intimidated? Like, given your sexual, your experience and sexual maturity, if you were in an orgy with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson,
would you be able to conduct yourself the way you, like normally? Like, would you be able to engage in the kind of dirty talk that you do, or would you be a little bit nervous?
You know, I can't say what would happen. I know I'd be nervous, but I'd like to take on that challenge. I don't want to run from a challenge.
Yeah.
So if the challenge is, can you be horny in front of The Rock? I mean, you know, lose or win.
Yeah.
I want to be in the ring.
Yeah.
I want to take the people's cock on.
Dude, yeah. Grill it up and eat it.
I'm not, yeah, so am I afraid? Yeah, but that's how I know I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
I follow that fear.
You know what he's cooking.
Down to try it.
I think I'd have trouble.
I'm down to, you know, mix up my own meal across the way and see who's throwing out a better dish.
Yeah, I think I'd have trouble. Yeah, I think I'd have trouble engaging with another partner because I'd be like, dude, The Rock is plowing right next to me. Like, I'll just like check this out, and I'd be like, dude.
Oh, because you'd want to just check out the spectacle.
Yeah, I just sort of see like, you know, like, oh yeah, he's really been working on his rhomboids right now. I can see that.
It is painful when you get like cut out of like a wild situation. Like one time my brother's girlfriend had a friend in town and we just like hit it off right away. We were at a bar, we just started like making out, and then didn't work out that night because her and her friend like got into a fight. And I was like, hey, break it up, guys, let's relax. But I was just, you know, I just wanted to hook up with her. And then like it was like 2 a.m. and she's like, me and Shelly have to like work this out. I was like, maybe save it for the morning. And she's like, no, we need to talk tonight. I was like, oh fuck, dude. So then like 2 nights later we go out and we're making out again on the dance floor. I'm like, oh, it's on.
Yeah.
And then this fucking girl who was at this party with us, who had been like hitting on me earlier, but she was just kind of hitting on everybody. She just decided she liked the girl I was with and like just started making out with her.
Yeah.
And then I was like totally taken aback. I was like, what the hell? And then like,
is it at Jimmy's or is this another time?
Jimmy's?
Jimmy Tatro's?
No, this is a different time.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, that girl was like hooking up with other girls in front of me too. So then I like some of my work friends are there. Yeah. They're like, bro, just get in there. And I'm like, you think I should? They're like, yeah, get in there. I'm like, all right. So I walk over there and I'm like, hey, what's up? Like, how's it going? I'm like touching both their necks. And I'm like, how you doing? I'm like, just like kind of trying to creep in. And then like, I kissed the girl I was with. And then like the other girl's like, she's like, she was like pretty down. And I was like, okay, cool. And then we start making out. Yeah. I'm like, oh, sweet. I did it. I'm in. Yeah. And then like, after a couple seconds of making out with me, they just go back to making out with each other. And then I'm just sitting there kind of watching. I'm like, I try one more time. And they like, kind of like, give me like the side of their lip. And then I'm like, that's all I got. And then they just go back to kissing. I walked back and I was like, it's just not going to happen. They're only into each other. Yeah, I just try to like, it was really hard to like find a way in. Yeah. I was like touching their, like trying to, you know, because I didn't want to, I couldn't really touch the girl I hadn't made out with yet. So I was just kind of touching the girl I was with and I was like, hey. And then. It was more, I didn't really do the hand thing. It was more just like, she's like over here. And then they went back to kissing. And I was like, all right, I'm out of here. And I went back to my friends. I was like, dude, it's not going to happen.
I love that you got in there, though.
I tried. Yeah, and I'm happy I tried.
Because I'm trying to think of, like, what's a line that you would... Because I know me personally, I would go up. I'd be just standing there. I'd be like, I just sort of would, like, expect them to, like... Be like, you want to come in? Yeah, so okay.
Yeah, I kind of had that vibe. And then I think maybe after a couple minutes, I was like, all right, I got to stick my head in there. This song was banging. The music was banging too, so I couldn't really like verbalize what I was trying to do.
I'd love to see that they're like making out. So like an onlooker just see this guy. He just goes up to them. He's just like looking at them, and then he just starts trying to make it. And then I can see with them, like, it's just some horny dude.
Yeah, just a random guy. Like, I didn't even know them. I hadn't already made out with one of them. I was just a dude. I was just walking by 2 girls making out. I was like, oh, I don't mind if I do. I'll try and get in on that. Just, oh, hey, ladies, you guys are having a good time. Do you mind if I participate? Yeah.
You just walk away.
And then I just walk away. I'm like, oh, I'm outside. I'm like, oh, it's no good. I'm gonna go taco truck. It was worth a try.
Yeah. Someone comes up there like, hey, dude, you try to get on that? You're like, yeah, give it a shot.
Yeah, my coworkers were the best because I was kind of defeated at first. I was just like, oh man, that sucks. I was kind of complaining to people. I was like, dude, the girl I was making out with, that other chick just took her from me.
Yeah.
I'm like, they're just making out. They're like, bro, get in there, dude. Yeah. Get in there. Like it's like but in my head I was like, they're right. Yeah, why haven't I tried that yet?
You guys are on the dance floor, you just go for like 20 minutes.
I ran into the girl who took the girl from me later, and we'd always laugh about it.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Actually, I still laugh with the other girl about it too.
Yeah.
She'd be like, not anymore because got a GF now. But like before then, we'd be like, it was only like once a year. But she'd be like, sorry, she'd be talking to my brother's girlfriend, and then she'd be like, tell JT I'm sorry I left him for another woman. I was like, I'm still heartbroken over here. Still thinking about you. But it was a tough break.
Show just like smiling.
I was really nice.
Yeah.
I tried to be super, pleasant and easy to be around in my approach. Hey. Oh, hey, don't want to bother anybody, but I might slip in here and just be a glue guy. Not looking to be the star of the game, but I'll feed you guys the rock, whatever that means.
Yeah, you're just like your hands kind of like motioning. You're like,
Yeah, I didn't know how to quite get in there and just like angle it. I was just like, huh? Mm-hmm. What am I? Come here. You want some too? You jealous? You jealous that I'm doing this? You want in on this? And then
yeah, I wish I could have watched that without knowing you.
Yeah,
that would be so funny.
That was really funny at Tetras. That girl just was. Remember, I just walked up to you and I was like, "Dude, look at this chick," and she was just going off on people in the middle of the dance floor.
Well, you like came up and you're like, "Hey, what's up, guys?" And we're like, "What's up, man?" And you guys just start dancing and just grinding so hardcore. And you guys are like grinding hardcore, and then like we're like kind of like standing there dancing a little bit. And then I turn back around and she's like fully bent over, like hands on the floor. And you're just like, your hands behind your head kind of just humping her. We're like, wow, dude, that escalated quickly.
She still would message me. She would send me crazy stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah. She'd be like, what's your like out of nowhere? She'd just be like, what's your problem?
Yeah.
And I'd be like, I knew, but I wouldn't even respond after a while because I knew she was just like, that's how she got attention, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. She was interesting.
Dude, so I did a deep dive into cryptocurrency.
Did you really?
Yeah, well, I really got, I was researching Bitcoin and cryptocurrency heavily because I thought it had to do with like ice baths. I thought it was cryotherapy. So yeah, I just kind of like got into it. I'm like, what does this have to do? Like, what's currency and ice baths? And then I learned that it's a new type of like monetary system where you can cryptocurrency is sort of like the banking system of the future. Pretty soon we're going to move away from the paper dollar, and it's all going to be in crypto. And it's like, who's getting the jump on it now? And it's like, is it all even real? Like, are people just pumping these stocks up, or are they for real, or is this kind of just like a scam that people are trying to lure others into? Do you have any thoughts on it?
Just like abstractly, it seems if enough people believe in the scam, it becomes legitimate.
Yeah.
That almost seems to be the foundation of a lot of like kind of financial instruments, and also just like religion and other kind of, I don't know, just abstract concepts that we all sort of build our society around.
Totally. Do you think cryptocurrency is going to be the thing we use in the future?
Yeah, I do. Because my buddy Jay says, who works at Goldman, said that's the deal. And he said he's got most of his money in crypto because it's decentralized. I don't know what the benefit of being decentralized is. Yeah. But I get why that word is compelling.
I know. I was talking to my financial advisor, Debo.
Tito?
What's up?
What's his name? Tito?
Debo.
Oh, Debo, that's right.
Debo, yeah. And he was just like, he's like, yeah, dude, like you've got like, I mean, you've still got $8,000 in Billabong stock, and we're just watching that, waiting for the market to shoot back up. Summer's coming again soon. Board shorts are going to be flying off the shelves for sure. What with global warming and stuff, people are going to be looking to swim more than ever. And I was like, sick. So should we put this Billabong stock into Bitcoin? And he's like, no, they're two different things. Like, you'd have to get some more cash to put in Bitcoin. And so, it's sort of like, where do I see more of a profit in the future, in cryptocurrency or in, board shorts?
I mean, I know Warren Buffett's like investment tenet was like, I only invest in things I know or things I understand.
Right.
So for me, I understand board shorts.
Yeah.
I don't quite understand crypto yet.
Yeah.
So I'm sticking with, what I know, and that's shorts.
Yeah. I love that. And also, maybe I should go with what my original intention was, because I was just trying to study ice baths. I'm trying to get a new ice bath, and I fell into cryptocurrency. But maybe what my heart and soul is telling me to invest in is industrial-sized freezers.
And you know what I love about that is how curiosity and how progress in any direction can lead to breakthroughs in other places. Like, I was just reading about how the same technology that allows us to keep bull semen cold, because in India, they really got, they're building up their agriculture. No, not agriculture. Is that agriculture with cows and shit?
Oh, for sure.
Is that agriculture?
Cow jizz is agriculture, right? That's not industrial.
Yes.
Right. So, let me just look this up real quick.
By the way, guys, we have Dante back on the sticks. What up, dude?
Howdy.
So right, so they're trying to expand their livestock and their agriculture.
Yeah.
So they needed new ways to keep the bull jizz cold, so they could send it all over the map to get their cows preggers. And now the same technology they use to keep the bull jizz cold is what they're going to use to be transporting the coronavirus.
I love that.
But
the vaccine.
Exactly. Oh, sorry, the corona vaccine. Yes. So you think the guy who is making progress and who was coming up with the technology to keep bull jizz cold also knew that he was going to have to create the technology that we need in order to like save humanity from this horrible pandemic? No, but he followed his passion. He went as far as you can with bull jizz technology, and now he's going to save the world. And same thing for you. You were just looking into, cryo baths because you want to keep your body fit. And in
boost my mitochondria.
Exactly. Powerhouse of the cell. And then in that pursuit, you found out about cryptocurrency, which is brand new to me, and now I'm finding out about it.
Yeah, and I'd love to dive more into it, but I'd love to take the cold plunge as well, and it's true. It's follow your passion. Say yes to life. Right now I'm into freezers, and look what freezers are doing for the world, saving it.
You break through one door, and you don't end up in the room you were trying to go into, but you look around, and you're like, hey, this room's pretty cool too.
Yeah.
It's a COVID vaccine, or it's cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
Glad I busted through that wall. Just keep busting through walls.
Yeah.
You'll find the room you want to stay in.
Dude, thank you, man. That's like, it's just, for all the listeners out there, follow your passion. It's like, what do we love? We love dongs. We love tanning. We love board shorts. We love partying. Small dong rosé.
Everything came together.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So buy the merch, guys. Pick it up. Christmas is coming up. Get a nice gift for everyone in your family, some rosé with our faces on it.
And we got Helix beer bongs coming soon.
That's going to be cool.
Like, for real.
Very excited about that.
Did that make any sense?
Totally.
Guys, I'm interrupting this podcast to let you know once again that we are brought to you by Manscaped. Manscaped, thank you so much for keeping our trims pubed, for looking after our hogs, for making sure that our dongs are looking fresh and clean, because you have a dong, okay? You've got one. You've got balls and a penis, and you need to make sure that it looks presentable. You may not be showing it to anyone for the foreseeable future, but that's okay. You know that it's ready to go. Who knows? You could score an unexpected soccer goal, and then you really got to flash some hog. And it's in those moments when you need to make sure that it looks good. Because listen up, fellas, 2020 sucked. Yeah, it's new year, new balls with our sponsor, Manscaped. Manscaped is the best in men's below the waist grooming, offering precision engineered tools for your family jewels and helping 2 million men all over the world get rid of hair on their freaking nuts. Yeah. So, Come out of the quarantine with clean balls thanks to the Lawnmower 3.0. It's a waterproof, skin-safe trimmer. Will reduce nicks to your two best friends, your nuts. You got the crop preserver, anti-chafing ball deodorant. You got moisturizer. You got deodorant for your armpits, for your nuts, and you got ball toner spray, the crop reviver. You got all the shed travel bag. It's all these goodies stored comfortably. Anti-chafing boxer briefs. So get 20% off plus free shipping with code GODEEP20 at manscaped.com. That is 20% off and free shipping with the code GODEEP20 at manscaped.com. Your balls will thank you. Happy New Year. We are also brought to you by the legends at 5CBD. I know a lot of weed smokers probably think CBD doesn't do anything, but it's time to redefine what you know about CBD, because 5CBD does in fact hit different. Ooh, it does, because this is CBD, and a lot of times, when someone gave me CBD, I'm like, great, I'm gonna feel nothing. But this CBD is legit. Not only does it chill me out, it also has THC in it, so I get like a cool little buzz. I mean, it's the best of both worlds. This, if you're gonna do CBD, do 5. I'm telling you guys, and it has full spectrum CBD extract, the best in the biz. Lots of THC. You're gonna feel the buzz. You're gonna feel good. High levels of THC. It's legal. You can get it in all 50 states. Doesn't matter where you're in the US. You can get good vibes with the 5. That's what's up. It's also super budget friendly. Like, not a bad price. I like the sleeping one too. Gives me cool little dreams. Sleepy CBD. That's the best stuff. So check it out. And if you're looking for just like a cool buzz, you wanna have a good time, try 5thc.com for a free bottle of Daily Buzz gummies. And these gummies actually have 5 milligrams of THC. That's legit. And this deal ends December 31st. That's Friday. So get on it. Check it out before the holidays. Get your 5 on. That's what's up. Try5thc.com. Get stoked. That's what's up. All right. And we are also brought to you by the legends at BetterHelp. BetterHelp, what up, dudes? Guys, we talk about mental health a lot on this podcast. It's a super important thing. You gotta keep that in check. I like to do ice baths. I like to take cold showers. I like to do sprints to get those endorphins pumping. But nothing beats good therapy. Getting into your dome, seeing what's what, saying what up to your demons and boking them. Demons are schmoles, and we all know it. So that's what's up with that. And just freaking, kicking your demons in the nuts. Right? And you can do that with the dudes at BetterHelp, which is our sponsor. Thank you guys for sponsoring the podcast. So these guys will match you with your own licensed professional therapist. They're going to assess your needs and match you with someone that's legit. You get a safe, private online environment, super convenient. You can start communicating in under 24 hours. You can send a message to your counselor at any time. You'll get timely and thoughtful responses. Plus, you can schedule weekly video or phone sessions. That's so freaking tight. And you don't ever have to sit in a waiting room. I mean, this is online during COVID. This is like the best option ever, and it's much cheaper than most of the options you have. So get that mental health checked out. Get your stoke up. Boost your stoke. These professional counselors specialize in depression, stress, anxiety, relationships, sleeping, trauma, anger, family conflicts, LGBT matters, grief, self-esteem, all kinds of stuff. So if you want to start living a happier life today, as a listener, you'll get 10% off your first month by visiting betterhelp.com/go-deep. That is betterhelp.com/go-deep. Join over 1 million people who have taken charge of their mental health. Again, that's betterhelp, HELP.com/go-deep. Later.
Should we answer some questions?
Yes.
All right, what up, bros? I'm in the 7th grade up here in the state of MIA, and I'm fucking bored, man. MIA? What state is that?
Maine?
Maine, good call. Oh, it's just MA. And I'm fucking bored, man. I hate this Q-teen.
Massachusetts.
And I never have anything to do. I listen to the pod every Tuesday and watch all the Twitch streams on Sunday. I can't catch the Wednesday ones because the dumbass time change. Any advice could really help because I want to stay away from drugs and not drink till like sophomore year. Good, man. Let's maybe drink sophomore year a little bit, and then let's push the drugs to maybe even after college.
Yeah.
Really can't wait till I'm older and can have a beer bong, bro. I hope you're doing great, dudes, and have fun shredding the gnar and streaking. Wish I could be in Cali. I hope you're doing awesome. The youngest stoker, Carter. Carter's a beast, dude.
Is he he's a 7th grader?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he's like true stoker on the Twitch stream.
Oh, so you know him?
Yeah. What up,
Nice.
dude? Yeah, what a legend.
Dude, just hang out with your buddies, go for walks, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just, share about how you're excited for your future together.
Yeah.
But dude, I'm sorry you're struggling right now, man. It must be pretty boring. Maybe get into doing calisthenics. I don't know if we want to be weightlifting yet with your growing bones, but push-ups, burpees, sit-ups, pull-ups, dips, I think those are all okay.
Mm-hmm.
And, like Chad always says, cultivate your passions. Maybe some chess, little chess. You're doing the body with the exercise and then you're exercising the brain with the chess. Nice combination of that. So when you do start partying, you got a nice solid constitution so you don't suffer too much through it.
Absolutely. What's his name again?
Carter.
Yeah, Carter. I would say too, all of what JT said, and also, it's hard to think of right now, but try to think of like what you'll, like 10, 15 years from now, if you could look back on what you invested in yourself at this time, like what would that be? Because, when you're like 25, 30, and you're like, oh, wow, when I was in 7th grade, I started learning chess. I started working out. I started building up all these skills. I started reading books and stuff. And now I'm a freaking beast, as opposed to like when you're that age, especially like an adolescent, it's like you always just want to give in to your desire for instant gratification, pleasure, like, drilling yourself or starting partying and stuff. That's what I did, certainly. I was just raging and stuff. And it's like, oh, and now I look back, I'm like, oh, I wish I had read more books or, learned Chinese. So yeah, think about that. Just try to envision your future self looking back on yourself now and be like, try to make that guy proud.
Start reading James Patterson books. They're like not very, the language is pretty simple. They're easy stories to track. They're all serial killer stories. And the main cop, Alex Cross, is like a badass dude that it's easy to look up to. And I think you can pound through all those. And they're all bestsellers, so they're all very entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
And it'll kind of build up your appetite for literature. But it's a good gateway book because it feels like a movie when you read it.
Yeah.
Also, it's tough. It's tough to be sincere at that age because everyone's so vicious. I know that's when I was probably at my meanest, was 7th and 8th grade. I was, puberty and just not knowing how to fit in. And you're starting to get an adult brain, but you're not allowed to do any adult things. Try practice being sincere with your bros. Like text your bros tomorrow and be like, hey, bro, miss you, dog. See how that goes over. I'm worried. I'm worried I'm giving you that advice and it's going to backfire and they're going to be like, dude, you're a bitch. But I think it's worth a shot.
For sure.
But have the courage to try.
Yeah.
That's where real leaders are born out of that.
For sure.
They put themselves out there.
Absolutely.
Get some pussy, dude. What's up, Stokers? I'm a sophomore in college on the East Coast, and I recently came home to the West Coast for winter vacation. Out of nowhere, my ex-girlfriend from high school hit me up after not talking for over 2 years and said she wanted to catch up. Ooh, boy.
Wait, she hit him up after not talking for like 2 years?
And she was like, hey, I just want to catch up. Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
2 things. I'm guessing right now. 1, she either wants to be with you, and that's why she's rekindling, or 2, she wants you to want to be with her, and that's why she's rekindling. I was surprised at first, but nonetheless was down. I had no expectations until she started asking me almost every day when we were going to hang out. I've been super busy, but we have a chill sesh on the schedule now. And after finding out that she had recently broken up with her college boyfriend, I figured she wanted to bump stumps again. She's pretty banging nowadays, and she's also a cool person. So my question is this. Do I approach this sitch with a flirtatious attitude and risk reigniting the emotional attachment despite being on opposite sides of the country? Or do I try to keep it at a friendship level because her genuineness and strength was super chill and helpful?
Are they going to see each other? Or is she just like on the other side of the country just reaching out to say hey?
No, he came home to the West Coast for winter vacation, so they're in the same place. They're physically hanging out.
Oh.
Yeah. Dude, I say go for it.
Yeah, go for that holiday love sesh.
Here's the thing. It's going to get, one side is going to want to be together with the other side afterwards.
Yeah.
And one side's going to get their heart broken. And then the other side is going to regret that they broke the other side's heart. I'm just projecting what happened to me now. Look, you just go for it, man. But yeah, you're going to try and keep your guard up, but it's not going to work. You're going to fall for her again.
Yeah.
But that's okay. Or maybe you won't. Maybe she'll fall for you again. Or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you guys will just have fun.
Yeah, go for the holiday love sesh. You're aware of, the possibilities of what could happen, of how you could get hurt or how she could get hurt. So as long as you know what you're getting into, dive in, say yes to life. You never know what could happen. You guys could have a fucking kid.
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
Boom, clap, fellas. Yeah, I would just go for it, dude. Plus you're home,
Yeah.
Make sure she's being safe, though. Don't give COVID to your parents.
For sure.
Boom, clap, fellas. I found myself in an interesting predicament. So about 1.5 years ago, I met this smoke show of a doll at a bar, and we ended up dancing and making out a little bit. By the end of the night, however, I lost her and eventually saw her with another bro. Wait, I'm going to tell a quick story. Okay, one time I went to Vegas for a friend's bachelor party, and I was like on fire. Like everyone, I was like hitting on a ton of people. Not even like hitting on, but just trying to talk to like every girl I saw. And it was actually going pretty well. Like I had a good energy about me. And then I met like so we're at the pool bar, and I just go up to this girl. I'm like, hey, do you like mojitos? Conversation springs out of that. She's beautiful. We have a great conversation. She's like, hey, let's hang out tonight. So she gives me her phone number. I write the number out in my phone because she gave it to me in like notes, and it has one extra number on it. And I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, she gave me an extra number. I'm like, oh man, no, I don't know how to call her. Then at like 2 a.m. that night, I was like, oh, I guess I'm not gonna see her. At 2 a.m, I'm like, bro, just take off the last number. So then I text her at 2 a.m. and I'm like, hey, what's up? And she's like, hey. I did it. I was right. Mm-hmm. She's like, hey, we're just going to bed. It's our last night. We're leaving tomorrow in the morning. Like, sorry, we didn't get a chance to meet up. I'm like, damn. So then a month later, I text her. I'm like, hey, what's up? She's like, who is this? I'm like, it's the guy from Vegas. She goes, are you serious? It was dead. Moment was over. All right. But by the end of the night, however, I lost her and eventually saw her with another bro. Bummer. I ended up getting her Snapchat, though, and I've talked to her periodically over the past 1.5 years. Dude, way to stay tenacious in there. Fast forward to these recent months, we've actually been talking a lot. I've taken her on a couple dates and even hung out at each other's places a couple times. Safe to say we're unofficially official at this point. But she's got a girls' trip coming up with some friends that she's had planned for a while down in Miami Beach, and I can't help but think she's going to catch some D down in Miami, since she's not technically tied down to me, and again is an absolute smoke show. Any advice on how to handle this situation, ease my mind as the inevitable nightmares of this beautiful girl that is almost mine getting dicked down by some Miami hunk? Any advice is greatly appreciated.
I feel you, brother.
I feel you too, man.
Dude, I know exactly how you feel.
Yeah, dude, that's scary, bro.
It's a Miami hunk with his just fucking Johnny Sins coming in just to play doctor.
Damn, dude. Yeah, worst case scenario. Also kind of hot. Dude, I went on a bachelor party trip with some really hot college baseball playing guys to Cabo, and like married girls came over, and they were like trying to hook up with the college baseball playing guys. Yeah. And I was literally like, my wife is never going on a bachelorette party. But the married women who were trying to hook up with the guys had really bad relationships, because one of them was like telling one of the guys like, please, my husband never sleeps with me. It's been years. I just need someone to touch me. And it kind of freaked my bro out. And then he was like, dude, I'm not into this. Like, I gotta go. Because she was like too mixed up. Yeah. But dude, here's the thing, man. And this is the crux of it, I think, is you can't control what anyone else is going to do. I know this isn't like going to make you feel a lot better, but you can only control you. And I think so much of our frustration comes from trying to like, but he's not really trying to control her, I guess, right? Yeah, so that's not right. That's just more me. I don't know, dude. But it's the same thing. You just have to, here's what my therapist tells me. Trust isn't about the other person. It's you trusting that you'll be okay no matter what happens. Mm-hmm. So let's say worst case scenario does happen and she does get dicked down. You'll be okay, dude. You'll be hurt, but you'll get through it and you will be okay. So you just have to trust that. Even if you feel like you can't, if you're not in a position yet where you can ask for that trust from her yet, you just got to remember you'll be okay. And the chances are she's probably not going to get dicked down. Mm-hmm. Do you think she's going to get dicked down? Probably not, right?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Corona times.
It's tough.
It's Corona. No. Plus,
Although there is no corona in Florida.
That's true. Plus, you know, I don't know. Part of me is like, does he have the opportunity or is there the possibility of locking it down?
For sure.
Before she goes, you know, maybe that's an option where you just sort of, you know, you establish that exclusivity, and, you know, make one step closer to a full-on relation.
How do you frame that? You don't mention the trip as being a motivator, right?
You know, this is what you say. You say, hey, babe, so, you know, I've been thinking about it a lot, and that's, you know, and I think we're really, we really got something special, and we're really moving in, you know, a positive direction, and I'm just terrified that some big hunk is going to dick you down in Miami, so do you want to be exclusive before you leave?
I love that. That's perfect.
Yeah.
Just say that. You nailed it.
Cool.
Yeah. The truth. It's always the quickest route.
Yeah.
For sure. What up, Chad and JT? If you have a guest on today, then please give them my regards. I'm in a bit of a tricky situation right now that hopefully you two stokers can help me with. I'm sure you remember a few years back when The Real Bros of Simi Valley first aired, there was an ongoing joke popularized about the character Wade not burning. For some reason, some of the homies decided that I was the Wade of our squad and that I didn't burn. I've always enjoyed marijuana, but ever since the first episode of Real Bros, I can't talk about or smoke any kush around the homies without being told that I don't burn. All I want is to blaze with the squad without changing this ongoing joke, but every time I bring up the topic of weed, the homies can't seem to resist the joke. Do you have any advice for someone who is the butt of a long-running joke? I did think it was quite funny for the first month or so, but having been years now, I am quite up. It's been going on for years. I'm sorry, I'm laughing, man. That's really tough. I know the members of my squad are good guys, and that I wouldn't want any other group of friends because we make great memories. Sorry. This is so sad. It's because he's a sweet guy. I wouldn't want any other group of friends because we make great memories when the joke is not being brought up. Thanks for helping keep the stoke up in times of turmoil in the squad. Keep up the good work, Max. All right, here's what I think you got to do, Max. You got to just look. It's like Johnny Moxon said at halftime in Varsity Blues. 24 minutes for the next 24 minutes of our life. We have a chance to play like gods. All right? And he just says basically if they go out there and empty the tank, that's heroic. I think you got to do something so fucking cool, so undeniable that your entire image within the crew has to be defined by that rather than this. So I don't know what that looks like, but I believe in you that you will find it and that you will do it. Otherwise, you're going to endure this for the rest of your fucking life. Or maybe not. They'll probably get over it at some point. Or you guys will grow apart after you go to college and kind of, you know, get jobs that separate you and you develop relationships that kind of pull you in new directions.
That was really interesting. Yeah, I'm leaning more towards the Evel Knievel kind of thing. It's like this is the spark that you need to become the next Brian Deegan.
It's not what we demand from life. It's what life demands from us. This is your challenge.
This is, are you going to back down and not burn? Yeah, I know you do burn, but are you going to back down and not burn? Or are you going to burn so freaking hard that everyone's going to be like, man, I wish we didn't, you know, pick on him so much for not burning that now he's a CEO of Pfizer. Something like that.
Nice, dude. Yeah, the company's going through the roof, baby.
Yeah, so this is the fuel that you need to dominate in your life. So throw on a pair of shades, put on a blazer, and get out there and maximize your potential because you got it. And you got the fuel. I mean, these guys, they're all comfy. They're all laughing. They're all soaking it up. They're like, no worries. You know, I don't have to overcome anything. You've got the Wade doesn't burn joke to overcome, and you will overcome it tenfold.
That's the thing, is like, you'll always be somewhat defined by this joke and by how they perceive you now. Yeah. But if you kill it at life, they always have to add an addendum that, but he's killing it. Yeah. Yeah, it's going to come at some point. They're going to be like, look, dude, he's crushing it, man. Like, it's unbelievable. That guy just goes out there and he just gets it. I mean, he still doesn't burn, but they're just going to put it in like that. It'll be like a small part of this greater paragraph of who you are. Yeah. Yeah, just one little sentence. Yeah. So just make sure the rest of that paragraph is just banging.
Yeah. And then if one of them in the future is like, hey, can I borrow some money for a loan? And you're like, I thought I didn't burn. And he's like, oh, dude, and we were just, having fun. And I would be like, really? It went on for years. And now you're asking for money? Why do you need to buy weed? You don't burn.
Dude.
But you'll be nice and loan them the money.
That's some of course, but that's some Count of Monte Cristo shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or that's like some end of King Arthur stuff.
Yeah.
Where he's like the Charlie Hunnam one with Jude Law that we saw together.
Yeah.
Where he's like, thank you for making me an abandoned boy who grew up in a bordello with no family and had to be on the streets hunting for food because you built me into the man I am today. So thank you. And the bad guy's like, no, you channeled all my evil into progress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
Go for it, dude. You got this, dude. Love life woes. Hello, Chad, JT Strider, Aaron, and any other guests. Hope you're having a fantastic day. I have attached a brief conversation from the fantastic dating app Tinder where I referred to the lady as my dog. To my surprise, she was not impressed with my choice of phrase and actually seemed offended that I called her my dog. I'm not sure, but this seemed like a massive red flag to me. I believe referring to someone as my dog is one of the greatest compliments you can give. Was it perhaps premature? Is it a phrase that should only be used for a great friend but not a potential mate? Is it a phrase for boys only? Thanks for your time. And hopefully your expertise can shed some light on this. Well, I'll tell you right now, she's not the girl for you.
Absolutely not.
Because even if she doesn't like it, if she's the girl for you, she's going to laugh and say, hey, I'm not your dog, but I appreciate the attempt. That's more your speed. Or she's going to be like, what's up?
Yeah.
What's up, playboy?
Yeah.
Let's get after it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that would be really cool too. But this person, not your person.
No. You know what you got to do. Bail.
Yeah, she just saved you some time. Let's see. You want to do one more?
Yeah.
What up, Chad and JT? My senior year of high school, my longtime girlfriend broke up with me and it sent me to a depressed place for about a year. I'm now a junior in college and feeling better than I ever have in my life. However, I still find it difficult to be talking to new girls. I've had no problem with hooking up and I've gotten kind of serious with 2 girls. However, neither relationship lasted than a few months. I think it's because I haven't been putting myself completely into these new relationships and I'm scared that a tough breakup will send me back down. How should I go about opening up myself to the possibility of a new long-term relationship while still protecting myself from the possible outcome of being badly hurt again? I mean, dude, I think you're thinking about what everyone thinks about before they go into a relationship. We're all scared about that stuff. But I think when you meet the right person, you'll still have those thoughts, but your feelings for them will be strong enough that you'll be willing to push forward despite them. So I wouldn't worry about it. I think you're doing everything right, actually. I just would just trust that you will meet the right person at some point.
Yeah.
And it'll kind of help with that stuff.
Totally. I mean, that was like that defined my teen and early 20s, teen years and early 20s. Is like these like almost relationships that lasted for like, like a month or 2 and then it just like didn't work out. And I'm like, what did I do? I think it's just like, it's just a process. You're just going to keep learning and growing. And the important thing is you just keep putting yourself out there. And yeah, you're probably going to get hurt, but if you rip open that heart, it's only going to come back stronger, whatever that phrase is. Be anti-fragile, whatever that is.
Completely.
Like, get yourself out there, say yes to life, and strive for love. And, it could be painful sometimes, but it can also bring you the greatest joys. So, just keep doing what you're doing and I don't know. I did a podcast with Craig Conant. He reminded me of something that I sort of forgot about that's in the sort of like philosophy and spirituality kind of stuff that I'm into is the concept of letting go, just surrendering to life. Just let things happen as they will, because they will happen. You can't control. You can't control these relationships or what's going to happen. What's going to happen is what's going to happen. So just enjoy the ride, because tons of people before you have found love and you will too.
Dude, it's so well said. I mean, that's what I was kind of getting at earlier. Is like control is at the root of so much. I think of all my frustration, basically.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, if I could only get these people to do what I wanted them to do.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, but you can't.
Yeah.
And it's an active thing where every day I have to be like, I'll feel those anxieties rise up where I'm like, oh, this person could hurt me or this person could hurt me. And then I'm like, okay, but what can I really do about it?
Right.
I can just do what, like, I can just take care of myself and try to do the best I can at these relationships and at you know, work and my personal care and all that stuff. And that's all I can do.
Yeah. That's what's up.
That's what's up, man. But you're good, dude. I mean, it's nice he's so thoughtful. Like, he's definitely, you know, thinking about things in a non-superficial way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even think I had the maturity to really verbalize that, to articulate that when I was his age.
Totally. He's like a few years ahead of the curve for sure.
Yeah. I was just frustrated with a boner, you know.
I mean, I thought I was a virgin. I thought I was never going to tell anyone. I thought I was going to die that way.
Yeah.
And I had never been in a relationship, and I just was like, I was just hiding.
Yeah. Look at you now.
I'm in a relation.
Dominating.
Come on.
Lifting weight.
I do love lifting weights. Dude, I did 100 burpees yesterday. It felt good.
Yeah. So did you actually? I saw in the story there's like some. You're like, did I do them or did I not?
I think I did them. I do.
Yeah.
I got a little self-conscious afterwards because like the record in CrossFit's like a lady did 161 in 7 minutes, and I did 107 minutes. No, she did 100. She did 161 in 7 minutes. I did 107:45. But then I thought about it. I was like, no, that's a huge difference. Though.
Yeah. 61. That's
in 45 seconds less time.
Yeah.
Yeah, she almost did double what I did. But no, so I think I did it.
Yeah.
It felt good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it again next week, so I'll have a more. I'll be certain.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go faster next week. I'm gonna break 7:30.
Well, dude, I got battle ropes now. You'd probably have to, if you want to work out at my place now, you'd probably have to bring, I have some 25 pounds, but I have an assault bike, jump rope, battle ropes, soon an ice bath.
I'm coming over with the kettlebells and the barbell.
Yeah.
I keep the back seats down in my Prius. Every time I go down to my mom's or Orange County, I bring the barbell.
It's so funny.
I know, my mom makes fun of me. She's like, dude, drag that barbell everywhere. I was like, bring it everywhere I go.
You know what's interesting is we never would have like invested in this kind of stuff if it wasn't for COVID.
Completely.
Like, I'd just be going to the gym.
Me too. But it's better having it at home because I work out more.
And you can do it outside.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into the next part. Chad, who's your beef of the week?
My beef of the week is with articles about the corona vaccine. You know, I just stumbled upon an article today that was like, oh, you know, you might not, and you know, I know there's the vaccine is controversial for some people, whatever. I want to get the vaccine. I will take the vaccine in my nuts if it means I can like fully get back to work and stuff. Not that I've been enjoying my time during, you know, but let's get on with it. You know, and then these articles I see, and that's the thing. That's the Tom Cruise like frustration of like, I just need to get back in my full work routine. You know, it's like I want to go visit my family, blah blah blah. And I know people are gonna be like, oh, why don't you just go visit? Well, you know, fuck you.
Nice.
I don't know. You know, I'm just. Anyways, but I see these articles that are like, oh, you might not be able to get the vaccine until next fall. And I'm like, why are you writing this shit? Like, you know, like most people are saying it's like March, April. And then you should be like, oh, but I don't know. This one guy said till fall. And it's like, I know you're writing that to get some eyeballs because people are so, you know, but, and it's probably not true, but it's like, why the fuck are you, you know, it's like, do you have any sort of like, decency for like, or do you have a compassion for like our feelings right now? You know?
Some motherfuckers love spreading bad news.
It's so.
Some people love to call you and be like, hey, did you hear about this bad news?
Yeah.
I'm like, no.
Yeah.
No. Why are you handing that off to me?
Oh, it makes me so mad.
You hold it and let it fuck you up. Don't give it to me. And then they smile at you while it fucks you up.
Yeah.
You can feel them being like,
yeah,
I gave you bad news.
Yeah.
Now you have to process it.
And I'm guilty of that sometimes too. It's a very.
You don't do that ever.
Oh, I'm not? I don't?
No, you're like the least that person I've ever met.
Oh, okay.
You're actually the opposite. I remember when we were first starting to do stuff together,
yeah,
like we had a call with like some...
MTV.
Like, yeah. And you were like, how come they haven't called us back? I was like, dude, honestly, I don't think they want to work with us. And you looked at me and you were like, please don't talk like that in front of me.
Oh yeah, what am I talking about?
You hate that shit.
I don't like any negativity.
Yeah.
That's why usually I stay away from that shit.
You totally do. Yeah.
I'm watching like fucking Wayne Dwyer videos on like Taoism, but this coronavirus shit is like I just want to know like what's going on when we can like open back up.
Right.
And so now I'm reading these dickweeds articles. It's like I don't know. So that's my beef.
It's a good beef.
Yeah. And whoever wrote that article, I didn't see who wrote it, but if I ever see you on the street, I will give you one of those like I'm not pleased with you looks that you get from drivers sometimes.
My beef of the week is with my dear friend Danny Babona, and a little bit my dear friend Greg Ebel, who's recovering from COVID and is doing better.
That's
yeah,
good.
But he was still on the comms the whole time playing Call of Duty, and that's the setting of my beef. I'm playing Call of Duty, and we're in separate trios, but we're all on the same party, so like 6 of us can talk. And I haven't talked to these guys in a while, so I start throwing out movie conversations. I'm like, Ben Foster, overrated or underrated? We all agree he has some annoying tics as a performer. He really hams it up, but properly rated. He can really bring it sometimes. Then I'm like, all right, better actor, Emil Hirsch or Ben Foster? And we're all like, okay, probably Ben Foster. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Where do you stand on that?
I was thinking probably maybe Emil. But
oh, really?
Yeah.
Why?
I'm not as familiar with Ben's. I'm familiar with him in like Alpha Dog. What else has he been in? Hell
or High Water.
Yeah, I haven't seen much of his stuff. So
Bang Bang, You're Dead, 310 to Yuma. They're both in Lone Survivor together. They're both in Alpha Dog together.
Right. Lone Survivor.
But Emil Hirsch is really good in that too.
Yeah.
They're both good, but I think Ben Foster's probably a little better. And then we start talking about Olivia Wilde's movie Booksmart, which we all agreed was overrated. But Greg, or maybe I shouldn't even say this, but Greg said he said that to his girlfriend, that Booksmart was overrated. And come on, you can't tell a lady that Booksmart's overrated. Not in Los Angeles. I mean, that's always going to get you into trouble. You just got to say, hey, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's the most you can trash it.
Yeah.
But so we're all talking about how it's overrated. And then Danny gets upset. He's like, hey, guys, are we dropping on the Recon or the Scav? Okay, can we focus and stop talking about little fucking indie films? We're like, whoa. So then Greg, feeling the pressure from Danny, mutes the other 3 of us so he can focus on the game. That's my beef.
He muted you guys?
He muted us. He does that sometimes because he wants to focus and get the W in Call of Duty. I mean, really the beef should be with me if we're talking about, always trying to bring up like art conversations when we're, supposed to be bagging bodies.
Yeah.
But, we don't get much time together. So, except for a couple hours a day. And so my beef is with you, Danny, for not letting us have a nice conversation about, film and actors and all the things that go into that. That's my beef. But if you're a young baseball player and you want to go to a college that has a great program and the best coach in the business, go to UCI and get coached by Danny Babona. They should call it UC Newport Beach because it's right there.
Dude, I can't even believe you can mute other people.
You can mute them.
I would feel so hurt.
I've seen it a bunch of times.
My babe of the week is... My babe of the week is my garage.
Nice,
I have a new garage, and dude, there's just things when you're growing up that you take for granted so much. When you grow up in like your parents' house, a garage, a backyard, a basketball hoop, all kinds of shit, like a big kitchen. You just take that for granted growing up. You're like, yeah, this is how it is. And then when you actually get those things for yourself, when you're like an adult, it's sort of like it's such a good feeling because you're like, oh fuck, like you just gain so much more appreciation for like, you're like, oh fuck, a backyard is sick. Like I never really had, it's like growing up I was like, oh, we have a pool, that's cool. Like it's cool we have a pool, but it's like now in my mind, if I were to have a place with a pool in the backyard, I'd lose my fucking mind.
Of course.
I'd be like, I have a fucking pool in the backyard, So I think It's just like, and you know, I'm in like a duplex, you know, so I'm sharing a backyard or something, but there's part is fenced off, so it's pretty much like
You
they're
got your
both
own
private.
section.
And it's not like huge, but it's like it's something. And I think maybe just living in LA too, it's just different where you get like a backyard and you're just like, holy shit, man. It just makes such a big difference. And a garage, and you're like, wow, there's all this storage in here. I can put all this stuff in here. I can put workout stuff. You know, it's like I don't know. There's something about like earning that stuff for yourself. It's like the best feeling.
100%.
Yeah.
And I totally took it for granted. Like,
Yeah.
just growing up in Orange County, everyone had like a pretty nice house.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so you're like, oh, this is normal. And it doesn't take a ton of hard work to get these things.
Yeah.
And then you start living and you're like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Like, to get a house that has like a pool and a garage,
Yeah.
you got to fucking bust your ass.
It's crazy.
You got to bust your fucking ass.
Yeah.
And then when you do get it, you value it so much.
Yeah. It's such a, there really is something to like, to working for that stuff, you know. It's so.
Yeah, because when you're in your backyard now, you're like, this is my backyard.
Yeah.
Like, I got this backyard.
Yeah. And I'm like, what am I going to do with my backyard? I'm going to get a grill, and I'm going to get a fucking freezer so I can throw water in there and take ice baths.
It's going to be an extension of you.
I'm going to work out outside.
I'm pumped for it.
It's the best. Dude, you got to get a backyard in your
I'm
place.
trying. The place I looked at today didn't have a backyard, and that was the
Yeah.
reason I don't think I'm going to do it. I think I'm
Yeah.
going to. I know one of these places doesn't have a backyard, but it has like its own like little outdoor like barbecue space that's kind of fenced in atrium style, and I was like, that might work.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's tough.
Is it shared?
Yeah, it's like a duplex.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to get a standalone place, but it's tough in Santa Monica.
There's this neighborhood in Culver near where my old apartment. It's weird to say. It's right next to downtown, but it's such like an uplifting area. And there's a dog park like a few blocks up the way. I can send you like the sort of area.
Yeah, send it to me.
Because they have like small houses there.
They do?
Yeah.
Dude, that's perfect. Send it to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very uplifting. I like that area.
I
a
couldn't
lot.
find anything on West Side Rentals in that area today.
Yeah,
Really.
it might be tough, but I'll check it out.
Yeah, let me know. Dude, my babe of the week is Strider and Joe Pelazone. Because they were like, hey, have you been to Potato Chip Deli lately and gotten one of their sandwiches? And I'm like, no, it's been months. And since they mentioned it to me, I've had 4 of them in a week. I just get the chicken Milanese sandwich as much as I can. And there's something so comforting about a sandwich.
Yeah.
It's one of the most satisfying things you can eat.
Yeah.
It's got the bread and the meat and the cheese and then the various lettuce and sauces in there, or various vegetables and sauces in there.
Yeah.
And there's just something about it that feels so wholesome and nourishing.
Yeah.
There's few things as special as a sandwich.
Yeah. It's true.
It's just a perfect thing.
It's awesome.
And so thanks to those guys for encouraging me to, you know, indulge in them and to make sure I don't forget about them.
Yeah.
Who's your legend of the week?
My legend of the week is this teacher, Jimmy Monak. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. He is a teacher at Indian Creek School. I believe it's a high school. He teaches he's a high school English teacher. So Indian Creek School is a high school. And he's basically showing his students all of our city council videos.
Nice.
And our email received thank yous from like all of his students. So I'm gonna read off their names. I'm gonna read some of the emails because they're really inspiring. All right, so big shout out to Riley, Roddy, Juliana, AJ, Madison, Alex, Danny, Dylan, Josh, Christopher, Caroline, Edmund, Cole, Elon, Rowan, Katie, Kermit, Cade, Katie, Kylie, Jamie, Danny, Addie, Alston, Devin, Amara, Havana, Malcolm, Bobby. What up? Thank you guys so much for sending in your thank yous to us. They're very appreciated. For example, Riley said, "You both are great rhetoricians because Chad's diction and use of logos really illustrates how educated he is on these topics, but JT's use of pathos when he sings Britney Spears really hits home and even makes me tear up sometimes." Let's see.
Thank you.
This is from AJ. You're great rhetoricians because you're not afraid to speak your minds. You also provide wonderful imagery, whether it's riding a scooter down the street and looking at trees or going to get fish tacos with the bros and your girlfriend. In other cases, like when you were in Manhattan Beach and said not to get too lawyery on you, but this is in direct violation of the Constitution. This proved to city council members and many citizens that surfer bros, or whatever kind of bro you are not stupid. I will use the confidence your videos have given me in order to fight for all bros out in the world. Also, we can make it more rad.
Dude, when people talk about the future of this country and think we're on a negative trajectory, I would serve this up as Exhibit A for awesome for
Absolutely.
why we're not going in that direction.
Absolutely. Katie, this is the last one. Katie said, you guys are just undeniable scholars that can argue any point effectively.
Except about fantasy football.
Yeah, for sure. So I just want to give a shout out to the students of that English class and Jimmy for teaching it. Thank you for spreading our activism. And what up to you guys?
Legit. Dude, my legend of the week is also a stoker.
Oh, nice.
Dude, so I'm doing an Instagram live yesterday, and I'm I bring people on and we chat about their life or whatever. It's fun, and then people get really open, which is nice.
Yeah.
So I bring on this stoker Seb, and he's doing some. He's like 20 or 19, nice dude, cool guy, obviously smart, and he's talking about how does he stay stoked during COVID. But then from there, the conversation just expands. I give him the basic rundown. I'm like, hey, bro, exercise. Do some kind of meditation or breathing. Have some fun. Play some Call of Duty or card games with your buddies or whatever. And then I was like, get on the dating apps. Entertain some love interest too. Mm-hmm. And then and we just talk about all that stuff. And then it turns out that he had cancer.
Oh, wow.
During COVID. He had a lump in his back, and he got a rare form of cancer that only 80 people got diagnosed with in the entire country last year.
Holy shit.
And so he shares this with everybody, which I really appreciated. He's opening up in a serious way, and it was clear that it had of course it would, a profound impact on how he looked out on the world. So thank you for sharing that, man. And it's I don't know. It was just it was deep, and it was cool to talk to him about. And then he goes, hey, we got a problem with the schmoll. So how do we deal with the schmoll? And it kind of made me create like a taxonomy for how to deal with the schmoll. And I think there's a couple different ways you can do it. You can stop inviting them to stuff. You can have a compassionate conversation with them where you say like, hey man, I don't think you're really living up to your full potential. You can give them withering glances and mean looks, but you got to be careful with that one because you can break someone with that stuff. That's break in case of emergency. Just giving them one of these after they make a joke. You don't want to do that too much because you'll crush somebody. Mm-hmm. And then the last one is what I'm going to do to Schmoll. You got to take him down to the ground and just pin him. And then so we start getting into why he's got a schmoll problem. What's the schmoll? So this schmoll, I guess, is hooking up with is trying to hook up with one of his buddy's sisters. And he goes, we don't think that should happen. We got to protect the sister. It's not nice to the friend. And this guy, he's kind of a cocksman. He doesn't really care about this girl. He's going to go back to college, hook up with other chicks and stuff like that. Well, okay, yeah, I hear you. I was like, I don't know if there's really much you can do there other than ask the guy to maybe not do it. And then it keeps going. It goes, and then I go, well, so what's your relationship to this sister? Like, are you in love with her? And he goes, no, I'm not in love with her, but we did used to hook up. And I go, what? I'm like, you used to hook up with her? He's like, yeah, a couple years ago, but I realized it was a mistake. Mm-hmm. And I just don't want this guy to make the same mistake, and I just don't think it's right. And I'm like, you lunatic, Seb. You crazy motherfucker. All that stuff we're talking about control, same thing. Mm-hmm. He wants to be the man. He wants to be the special one. He doesn't want someone else taking away what's special to him. And I said, look, bro, there's nothing you can do. You got no credibility. You just got to let this play out. But he was very receptive to that. And he was a good dude and really interesting brain. And then he messaged me today and said that the other stoker, the dude who was going to hook up with the sister, watched the live and he decided to not hook up with the sister and to go hang out with the bros. Nice. Yeah, because he was so compelled by what Seb was saying. So yeah, I want to call Seb and have him on the podcast because he's a really thoughtful dude. Yeah. Yeah. And wise beyond his years, but also still immature in that way where he thinks he can control everybody. Yeah. He said that too. He's like, I always feel like I'm playing chess with everybody. Interesting. And I was like, Seb, you got to let go of that, dude, and just live your own life. But the dude's been through a lot, so he knows, he knows more about life than I do. So yeah, it was nice talking to him.
Shout out to Seb.
Chat, what's your quote of the week?
My quote of the week.
Do you remember when Kanye West came out with that Poopity Scoop song?
Oh, yeah.
Is that the funniest song of all time?
Dude.
A scuba da poop, poopa da scoop. When everyone was like, it was like the most anticipated like album of the year, and that was the first thing he dropped for it.
Yeah, what a nut. That was awesome. My quote of the week is, if you don't believe it or don't get it, I don't have the time to try to convince you. Sorry. That's from Satoshi Nakamoto, who's one of the earliest Bitcoin. He's the founder of Bitcoin.
Nice, dude. I thought they didn't know who invented Bitcoin.
Yeah, I thought that too.
Or maybe they do know who he is, but they just don't know much about the dude.
Yeah. Interesting. I just Googled that, so.
Dude, my quote of the week is from the super great movie Major League. And it's Tom Berenger's line when they find out that the owner of the Indians built the team to lose so that she could move them from Cleveland. And I guess the Indians are changing their name, so this will be one of the last times they're referred to as that. And Tom Berenger's character, who's like the long in the tooth catcher who's got one last ride in the show, he goes, well, I guess there's only one thing to do then. Win the whole fucking thing. And I just love that attitude. It's like, yeah, everyone's conspiring against us. The chips are against us, but we still got to just go out there. And the best way to stick it to them is just to win the whole thing.
I love that.
What's your phrase of the week for getting after it?
My phrase of the week for getting after it is hey, did you trim your pubes? Because we're about to sauna.
Nice. Mine is from a Cub Swanson. He just had a fight this weekend in the UFC, and he's like been on kind of a losing streak. And Joe Rogan asked him how he felt in the preparation for the fight, and he goes, dude, actually I was terrified. Just spent the last few days questioning myself. Which I was like unbelievably taken aback by his candor.
Yeah.
And then he goes, but I just thought about my kids and how I didn't want to let them down and how they think I'm their hero. And I just wanted to win it for them. He starts choking up. And then Rogan did the nicest thing. And I think a lot of interviewers in that moment would have seen the guy crying and been like, oh, this is good TV. And been like, you really wanted to win for your kids, huh? But Rogan goes, for sure, man. So then he threw that left hook and instantly just transitions. But I think he did it to spare the guy, he had this moment. Now he's like, all right, well, yeah. I don't want you to cry too much. Let's just talk about something else.
Interesting.
Which I thought was pretty compassionate of Rogan. Yeah. Or Rogan's just such a meathead that he's like, yeah, your kids are important. But that left hook, man, you really sprung it on him.
That's an interesting interpretation because... I think that Rogan was that thoughtful.
I think he was, dude.
You think so?
I think he loves fighters so much, and I think he was like, "Hey, this dude's crying. I don't want to lean into his vulnerability. I'll throw him an olive branch and just give him a way out. We'll talk about something else."
Yeah,
because he was real quick on it.
Interesting. Oh, so because I haven't heard it.
Yeah, I'll show it to you. And I'd be curious to get your take.
Yeah,
and I might even have wrong what his transition was, but I was taken aback by how quickly Rogan. Move the conversation away from that sensitivity, that sensitive point. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
For sure, man. All right.
That was fun.
Thank you, Dante, for being here and running the pod for us. And Stokers,
write a review.
Yeah, write a review. That helps us out, helps spread the word of Stoke Nation. So write a review and give us that positivity if you feel obliged.
That's true.
All right, late.
If you need advice, these guys are real